In today's video, we will have a special midweek Facebook Marketplace haul. Now, yes, this is a little bit of a different video, but I thought we'd just dive into this one and see what I've got here for this little pickup that I've done just tonight, and we'll just talk over the parts that I've got, and then you let me know in the comments whether I got a good deal or not, basically. So altogether, for everything that I'm about to show you, the total was £95 altogether. Now, the guy wanted 100, but I knocked him down to 95. Well, I said 90 first, and he said 95, and we agreed 95. So that's all good then. We've basically got a complete PC here, apart from the CPU cooler and the case. But we do have that elsewhere. We have those. We already have those components already. So we will actually be able to build a full PC from this. So that's actually really quite good. Now, I'll talk over the components that I wasn't too fond of in the deal, but then obviously the components that I brought it for we'll talk later. So first of all, the power supply, not fantastic if I'm being honest. This is a Cooler Master NWE 400 watt power supply. Now 400 watt isn't much, but we do have a PCIe 6+2 pin there, so we can actually plug a graphics card onto that, and we'll get to the graphics card afterwards, later, sorry. But the guy did say that he used this power supply for the PC, which I've basically brought. I don't know why he stripped all the parts separately and sold it all separately, but anyway, we won't worry about that. But yeah, he did use that with these current parts, so they should all be compatible, and even the 400 watts should be enough for these parts. But we'll go into that as we go along. Now, second sort of part, we've got as a 240 gigabyte ADATA SSD, which isn't fantastic, but is okay. And I might actually replace that with a 500 gigabyte or a 512 gigabyte SSD that I've got, a brand new one, but I'm not sure yet. And then also we did have a 2.5-inch hard drive, which is like a laptop hard drive, and that's a 1 terabyte as well. So that's for mass storage. So I could do that setup with this PC, but I'm not sure yet. I might just go with a 512 gigabyte SSD and then just leave out the hard drive, but we will see. And then the sort of last component that I wasn't too happy with either, but we kind of went along with it because it's all included in the deal, was 8 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. I don't actually know the clocking of this. It doesn't really say very much details on the back, but I'm sort of guessing like 2400 megahertz, maybe even 2133 megahertz. So not great RAM, if I'm being honest. I mean, it is Kingston HyperX, so it isn't a good, it is a good brand, but or Kingston Fury HyperX, sorry, I should say. But yeah, overall, the 8 gigabytes I'm not that fond of, and I might even just spend the extra 15 to 20 pounds to actually upgrade this to 16 gigabytes. But again, let me know in the comments what you would do on this, and we will. This is going to be a midweek video, but we will have we should have the Sunday video which I'll release, which is going to be the coming Sunday that you see this, if you are watching this on the actual Wednesday when it's released. Then it should be the build video where we will actually build it and test it and everything. But anyway, let's move on to the main component that I kind of wanted to get. Well, the main two components I wanted to get, as well as obviously the graphics card right at the end. So this is the motherboard here. This is a micro ATX motherboard. Nothing special. This is just a B 360M-HDV from ASRock. Pretty solid motherboard. It comes with the IO shield as well, so that's a nice addition as well. Only two DIMM slots for DDR4. We do have a times 16 slot as well, which is nice. And we do have two times 1 slots for the PCIe slots as well. So if we do want to put a Wi-Fi card, we can do that as well. Really, the motherboard wasn't exactly what I bought it for, but it was all part of the deal. But the main sort of thing that I wanted, obviously, the i7-8700. So this is actually a 6-core, 12-thread CPU, and even in sort of today's sort of hardware, that isn't actually that bad, and is actually quite capable, the CPU still. This is 8th gen Intel, the 8700, and it is i7 like I said as well, so we do get those extra cores. Well, we get those extra threads rather than just the 6 cores. We get the 6 cores with 12 threads rather than the 6 core like i5 8500, which is the non-hyper threading one. So yeah, that's there in the middle there, and all the pins looked fine when I put the CPU in. I put the CPU in just to basically protect the pins, obviously. I literally did that once I got home, because it just makes sense to do that. We do actually have an M.2 slot as well, but we won't be using that because, you know, we've got an SSD, and we'll probably use this SSD, or we might even just use the 500GB one. I'm still a little bit kind of working out exactly what I'm going to do for this build, but we'll figure it out when we actually do the build video. But here is the main event, and the real reason why I actually bought the whole thing anyway. This is a very nice Asus GTX 1060 6GB version, and it is that lovely white version as well, which all the YouTubers love to get, because you can put this in a nice white case and it all looks very fancy. So yeah, I'm really happy with that graphics card, and I actually have tested out the graphics card just before I did this video, so that all works. That seems to be pretty good. The cooling seems to be sort of around 65 degrees centigrade even when running maxed out 100%, so I think we won't even have to replace thermal paste or anything. We might just give it a little bit of a dusting with our computer vacuum cleaner thing that we have, our air blower thing. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, pretty decent. Like I say, this is that white version, that Asus GTX 1060 6GB white version that people kind of go on about. So yeah, pretty good. I mean, let me know what you think down below. Ooh, don't want to whack the graphics card there. Let me know what you think down below. For £95, I think I've got a decent deal here. I just need to add the case and the CPU cooler. That's not going to cost too much. The case I really wanted to get is kind of going to take an extra week to come, so I probably am just going to use my Cooler Master CMP 320, I think that's the one, micro ATX case, and it's a little bit more expensive, around about £50 or so, but I do think it's kind of worth it to actually get that kind of better look for this PC, because I do think when we've got it all assembled we've got a Thermalright CPU cooler as well, which is just a cheapy one, just like a sort of £14 one or something like that, £15 one maybe. Once we've all got that together, you know, probably about £150 I'll be into it, and in a good market I probably would get £300 for it, but I probably will sell it at £250. I mean, if I absolutely have to, I can come down to £200, and I've got some wiggle room there, but I personally think £250 we'll get for this, no problem. I'd be very disappointed if we couldn't get £250 once we put this all together, and obviously I'll show you the case when we actually do the build video, guys, and you'll be able to see all that. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this. Will you make any changes? I think the SSD, the 240GB one here, isn't really enough, and I don't really like doing the whole SSD with hard drive thing, because people kind of go, oh, I can't install this game because there's not enough space, and then you have to tell them about you have to use the D drive rather than the C drive, and it all gets confusing. I'd rather, to be honest, I would actually rather just give them a 512GB SSD and just be done with it that way. But let me know what you think. Would you make any more changes here? I mean, I also do think as well the RAM that I was saying before, it's a 2x4, it's 2x8, sorry, 2x4GB kit for 8 GB altogether, which is disappointing, because really that's probably going to be the thing that really kind of makes this computer a little bit disappointed in the specs. So I might actually just spend the extra £20 or whatever it is to get the 16GB for this board. It might actually be worth it, because I might be able to push up to that 275, potentially even get to the £300 mark as well if I do that. So it might actually be worth doing that. But again, let me know what you think. I mean, looking online in terms of the parts anyway, in terms of the main sort of parts which are actually decent, the graphics card looks to be round about sort of the £60 to £70 on its own mark, which is pretty good. and the CPU looks to be round about the 60 to 70 pound mark as well, and then the motherboard looks to be around the 40 to 50 pound mark as well. So if I parted this all out, I'm pretty sure I could get at least 200 parting it out anyway. So yeah, I think for £95 we've done well. I think we'll certainly double our money there. But hopefully once we put it in a case and everything, and hopefully we can. Well, I think we probably will push towards the £300 mark or the £275 mark. But yeah, I think overall I think we've done quite well. I'm kind of blabbering on a little bit now, aren't I, guys? So there will be the build video on Sunday, and hopefully you do like that. You know, do look forward to that, and do subscribe so you can see that. And obviously do like the video as well as leaving comments, because that's really going to help me on the YouTube algorithm. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.